Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is all about how to completely niche down, getting clear on who you're talking to, what you want to be known for, and how narrowing your focus actually helps you grow faster, not smaller. So if you've ever felt like your content is all over the place or you're talking to everyone but converting no one, then this is the training for you. Now, you should already know the drill. If you're live here, go ahead and comment hello in the chat so that I know that you are here with me. And of course, if you're watching this on a replay, still comment replay so that I know that you stopped by. And before I get started on this training, make sure you go ahead and like this video, share it with your teams, and of course, comment if it helps you. Okay, we have an engagement deal here because tonight, guys, I got a gift. I got a gift for you. We love gifts, right? I got a gift for you, so you're definitely going to want to stay. Get your teams on here. This is really going to help them sell, okay? I feel like this is one of the things that we kind of skim over when we first start. So make sure you share this with your teams, get everybody on here so they can learn how to completely niche down. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we get started, I do want to remind you guys on Tuesday, kind of like a follow-up to what we're doing. It's like a continuation, right? But on Tuesday, I'm doing the 10 easiest ways to get clients. And then on Thursday of next week, I'm going to be doing how to build your command center, which is probably one of the biggest trainings that I'll do this month, because all of us always ask, how do you do your command center? What's your command center? So if you want to learn about that, make sure you hop on Thursday. And then Tuesday, we're going to talk about the easiest ways to get clients. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So how to completely niche down. Clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates conversions. Can we all agree with that? Yes? Now, I'm going to start, and I'm just going to dive right into niching down, okay? But I want to clarify what niching down actually means before I dive into it. So niching down does not mean that you can only serve a small audience. I feel like that's one of the most conflicting thing that people talk about when it comes to niches is they just think that that's all you can sell. No, that's not all you're going to sell. You're going to sell everything, right? But you have to find something specifically to talk about to bring people in. So your niching down really means who you want to help, okay? What problems you want to solve, and then how you solve it. That is the three best ways that you can find what your actual niche is, right? So for my example, for me, I do adults only travel. So who do I help? Well, adults only. What problem do I solve? Booking resorts that people don't want to talk about, right? And how do I solve it? Well, I book it. That's it. That's my niche. Okay. That clarity gets rid of the restrictions of who we actually want to talk to. Now that I know exactly who I want to talk to, it's very easy for me to make content for the same exact people over and over and over. Yes. So a niche is essentially a shortcut to trust. Now, go ahead and comment right now in the chat box, what is your niche? Like, what do you feel like your niche is? Now, we're going to kind of decipher it and break it down a little bit more, but I want you to have like a general idea of what you want to sell or who you want to talk to or how you want to solve maybe problems inside the travel industry so you can get a rough idea of what your niche is. Now, I will tell you before I continue, it is very, very common for your niche to change as you change as an advisor. So if you decide on something today and the next week you actually decide on something else, that's okay. Okay. But if you're going to change niches, just make sure you do it slowly throughout the algorithm, like, posting, just changing it over time, not a complete just change all in order. Okay. That way you kind of warm it up so they can start realizing who you're talking to and then build yourself into it to where your content will only be that kind of like within a few weeks, right? So can talk about how to properly niche down. Now, why does niching feel scary? A lot of people get scared about niching down because they have a fear of missing out on other bookings, the fear of turning people away. We never do that. The fear of choosing the wrong niche. Yeah. And the urge to stay open to everything. Have we all felt that? I feel like even myself, I have felt that, right? Trying to appeal to everyone usually appeals to no one. Can we agree with that? Okay. Do you remember This is gonna be silly. Do you guys remember when we were in high school and like we were all trying to be like the cool kids? Like we wanted to be like everybody else, but then when we realized that like when we were for everybody, nobody really wanted us. Okay, that was deep, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, that's so deep. But like those kids that like try to be the cool kids and they're just like they're not, and then like those people are normally like really lonely, like they have no one to talk to, right? But if you were to go in that school and you were to find your specific people that you wanted to hang out with, you're going to see those people over and over, right? That's such a bad example, but that's exactly what I'm trying to talk about. I want you to find your group of people, okay? In this school of travel, go find your people so you can just bring in bookings from those people. Yeah, you're going to book other people too, but you need a specific audience to talk to, right? So we are no longer trying to appeal to everyone. We want to appeal to the people that we actually want to sell travel to, right? Now, the problem with being too broad, well, first, I already told you, nobody's really going to know what to do with you because you're just everywhere posting and talking about everything, right? But generic messaging, low engagement. If you have low engagement, your content's too broad. There you go. Inconsistent posting and a confused audience. Do you see how it fades as it goes, right? A confused audience is a very popular part of not niching down. Confused audience is because one minute you're talking about cruises, the next minute you're talking about family travel, the next minute you're talking about being a travel agent. The audience doesn't know what to do with all of that, right? If your content sounds like everybody else's content, your niche is too broad. There we go. I said it. Okay. Generic equals invisible. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. The more that you're just posting broad, 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 they don't know what to do with it. All right. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a broad post. How do I say this? All right. Behind the scenes of being a travel agent, I woke up and drank my coffee. Okay. Congrats. I like that. Yeah, I liked it. I hearted it. Good job drinking your coffee. What am I supposed to do with that? Is that going to get me a conversion? Is that going to get me a booking? Absolutely not. No. But if I were to go, come with me as we find the best deal for blah blah blah, and I just kind of walk them through how I do a booking. Would that bring me a conversion? Absolutely, because I'm building trust. I'm showing them the process and I'm showing them how I get deals, right? That would fit more. Okay, we have to avoid being so broad. Like, we are not content creators, okay? We don't have to post 6 different things on TikTok. We just need to have one generic message that goes on TikTok that hits a lot of people. Even the same thing with Facebook. Yes, Facebook, I feel like in Instagram, you could post more, you could talk about more, but it all has to have the same generic message to the same generic problem to the same generic people. We can't go and then talk to family and then the next one we're talking about love cruises, right? Like, it all has to simulate together to the same background. Okay. Now, how your niche affects everything. And I really have to explain this to you guys because you don't realize the power of having a niche until you actually have one. Okay. So if you're new and you're watching this and you're like, I don't know what my niche does. Okay. Well, let me explain to you what happens when you don't have a niche. If you don't have a niche, you don't know what platforms work because you don't know who you're talking to and what platform they're on. If you don't have a niche, you have no idea what to talk about. So you have no topics. The hooks won't exist because you don't have the topics. And then there's no call to actions because you don't know what you want them to do, right? But let's just say I had a family all-inclusive niche. Like, I just want to book all-inclusives for families. That's all I want to do, okay? I know that works well on Facebook because there's a lot of moms on there. I know that works really well on Instagram just for the aesthetics of booking the resorts. They like that. And I can kind of appeal to families in there and that late night scrolling, right? And then definitely TikTok because they love to be educated about family travel. There we go. There's my platforms. Now, family all inclusives, content topics, the best budget, the best way to book them, the best all inclusives. There we go. I got 3 right there. Okay. Now I need a hook to pull them in. So I'm going to pull on that family needing a break emotion. Can we agree with that? The stress of family planning travel, the stress of making sure your vacation's correctly. There's my hook. Okay. I'm pulling on those emotions. And then the call to action. Let me do it for you. I'll just comment and book and I'll put it together all for you. You just have to pay. That's it, right? There it is. Do you understand how if I didn't have a niche, that I would have no idea who I'm talking to. I'm just going to every platform posting, hoping I grab somebody, I pull somebody in that happens to scroll by. We can't work with that strategy. If you work with that strategy and you're just posting everyone, you're posting broadly, you're going to get some people. Okay. I posted broadly for years. I still got people, but the amount of bookings that I have when I'm niched down compared to the ones that I don't have, there's a big difference. There's a significant difference between people coming in and people not. Okay. So we have to niche down because it affects everything that we're doing in the travel industry. That way, you can't be known for everything if you don't have nothing to be known for. Right now, the 3-part niche framework. So for those who do not have a niche, or even if you have some kind of basis niche that you commented in the chat, you have to define it. So this is the best way to define it all the way down. Okay. So let's just say one of the niches are cruises. Okay. What do you want to help you with? What they want to help with? That's cruises. Okay. So that's number 2, but you still need number 1 and number 3. So who do I want to help with cruises? Is there families? If it's couples, if it's adults, if it's retired, who do I want to help with this? Okay. Then we're going to have to finish this one. Why should they book with me? What's going to make me different? What am I going to do in this industry? Okay, no matter which one you're choosing, if it's the cruise industry, why should they choose me? Okay, this 3 parts right here is going to basically equal to everything that you do when it comes to marketing. That's it. Okay, if I'm marketing to, let's say, adults only, am I going to market to like a family group? No. I want to talk to the groups without kids, right? Obviously, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what helps kind of clarify who you're talking to, what you're doing. Okay. Your niche should feel obvious once you say it out loud. I sell to adults only who need to book adults only, all inclusives, and they choose me because I can get them the deals and I can do the bookings discreetly without everybody knowing. Boom. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, right? You have to be able to do that. I need you to sit down and redefine it until you get to a point where you can look at somebody and say, this is what I do. Okay. That doesn't mean I don't do everything. Okay. I still do everything. I still do bookings all the time. I do family bookings. I do group bookings. I do weddings. I do all kinds of stuff. But what do I want to talk about? That's the difference. Okay. Now, primary versus secondary niches brings me to the second part. Your primary niche is what you're going to market. Okay. You're going to prioritize that. You're going to talk about that. You're going to focus on that. But your secondary niche is also going to be what you book. Okay. You can book everything, but you shouldn't market everything because you're not going to hit who you think you're hitting. When you're marketing everything, you're just hitting general audience. Okay. One of the reasons I tell you guys repeatedly, you'll always hear me say, don't promote anything on TikTok specifically. Facebook is not going to really hurt you too bad. I don't feel like it affects your algorithm as much. And I've never really seen any benefits of doing Instagram, honestly. I have promoted on all of these, and there's not really any benefits other than Facebook. Facebook is the only one that I will ever confidently say promote on, okay? But like TikTok, for example, if you promote on TikTok, don't ever do that. It will mess up your entire TikTok and it will take months to fix it. I promise you. But what it does is it markets you to everyone. Okay. That's what a promotion does. Instead, that's exactly what we don't want it to do. Okay. So when they're marketing to everyone on that promotion, you notice people are liking it, they're viewing it, right? But they don't know what to do with it because that's not your audience. So you're just marketing to everyone. That's what happens when you keep posting too broad. You're just sitting out there getting some strays, you're pulling somebody in, but you're promoting everything and you're promoting it to everyone. So they don't know what to do with that. They're not interested in that. They don't want to book that. They just liked it because it probably looked cool, right? That's what it is. That's what we're trying to fix. We want people to see it. We want people to know what to do with it. And we want to make sure that's exactly what they're looking to book. We want to pull in the people that are actually interested, right? So while we're pulling them in with our primary niche, they're going to have other requests. People just don't book adults only trips, right? People, for me, they go on cruises, they go on family trips, they do everything. And once I let them know that I can handle one thing, they trust me with the other stuff, right? That's how it works when it comes to niches. It's okay to have more than one, but you have to have a primary one that you want to cover. Okay. Now, how I found my niche. This was a long pathway. I'm going to drink some coffee. This was a long pathway for me. I'm not going to lie to you. When I first started, I've already probably told the story like a bajillion times, but when I first started, um, I did Las Vegas because I really liked Las Vegas, which was cool. I booked a lot of it, but Las Vegas was really cheap. Actually, all US travel is pretty cheap compared to the international, right? So I was making commission, but I wasn't making what I wanted to. Like I just booked a hedonism trip a couple days ago and it had $450 in commission. That's perfect. Thank you. All right, cool, right? But Las Vegas had like 150 in it. And I was like, oof, I need like 4 or 5 of these just to get what I want. So then I realized that's not going to work. So then I started doing cruises. I do a lot of cruises. I love cruises, actually. It's one of my favorite things to book. And I did really well on that. I did a lot of group cruises. I did that, but it just didn't feel like me. Like I didn't enjoy it. I took forever to get quotes. I took forever to respond. I didn't want to help them because I was just like overwhelmed, right? I knew it was wrong. Something was still wrong. So I started heading on a path of all inclusives. And that was great. I loved booking all inclusives. And I did it a lot for families because I had a family. So I felt like I had to do families. Didn't feel right either. Then I went back to my main viral post on my TikTok, and one day it just clicked. I was like, oh my God, I went viral for talking about hedonism because I thought it was funny. Why? If that many people can like my video, that means they like what I'm doing. So maybe I should just keep doing it, right? And that's how it happened. And then, like, here's the thing. How I know my niche is my niche, okay? And I'm gonna give this to you so you can kind of sit down and think about it yourself. I get excited when I get bookings. I've produced, like today alone, I've produced 7 quotes, okay? Before, it would take me like days to do quotes, but now I'm like trying to find the quickest way. I'm trying to find the best system. I'm getting into it. That's how I know my niche is who I'm supposed to be. I don't get nervous about it. I feel confident about it. I can go and say, yeah, I got you. Let me go get this real quick, right? Like that's how I know I found my niche. And it didn't happen right away. It didn't. And I developed into it and I still got tons of bookings in the process. But it's okay to acknowledge that you're still finding your niche, and it's okay to acknowledge when you do find it. Okay. That's what I want you to understand. So, how I found my niche is what I booked the most. I literally earned one IATAN, okay, literally off of booking hedonism in 2024. Like, I booked so much hedonism, okay, and I wasn't using the right tool. So, I got overwhelmed and I backed out of it. Like, I just kind of slowly booked, like, back down from booking hedonism. And I shouldn't have because that's what I booked the most, right? What I enjoyed most, I love talking about adults only, so that was cool. And then what people came to me for. After I made that one viral post, that's what they come to me for, right? So that was my niche. Now, what is that? That is evolution, and that's what our company is called, right? Evolution Travel. That is the idea of evolution, is that we evolve into better people. We evolve to better salesmen. We evolve to better whatever we're doing, right? That's what we're going. So it's not perfection, it's evolution. And that's perfectly okay to have as you grow as a travel advisor. All right. Your niche becomes clear when you stop overthinking it. When I sat down and realized that was what I meant to do, oh, why didn't I just do that earlier, right? So you're going to have this moment too, okay? Unless you already have your niche, then welcome. Thank you. Congrats. I'm happy for you. But it's okay to have these moments. It's okay to grow and it's okay to change. That's the most beautiful part about the travel industry. Now, how niche makes content easier. There's fewer content decisions, there's stronger hooks, there's more confident delivery, and there's better engagement. The engagement is what you're going for. Stop worrying about the views, stop worrying about the likes. I need them to comment and I need them to DM me. That's what I need, okay? That's a conversion. That's a far better conversion than they liked your video, right? That is our goal. So the moment that you post something and you think it's your niche, if you're getting a good engagement, you're getting good reception for it, keep going with it, okay? Because that kind of clarity is going to remove the friction. That doesn't mean it's going to pop off immediately. That's not what I'm ever going to say because that's not always how it works, right? Sometimes it takes time to build into it, and that's okay too. But if you're happy with it, your content and everything else will flow a lot easier because you're going to be confident in what you're talking about, okay? This is also going to impact your leads. So when you're doing just broad posting, you're just trying to hit everybody. This is what's happening right here. This is the broad post. These are the people. Okay. When you're talking about the specific thing, it niches it all the way down, bringing them into conversions. That's exactly what it does. Okay. Better inquiries, shorter sales cycles, higher quality clients, because they already know what to expect. They know exactly what you're doing. They know what to expect in the booking. They know what you're going to book them. Like they go in having that confidence, right? And that clearing of the niche filters out the wrong people automatically. That's what it does. They're not going to come to you if you're sitting here talking about, where's Amy Ray? Smoky Mountains, right? Smoky Mountains, Smoky Mountains, Smoky Mountains, Smoky Mountains. I'm not going to come to you and go, okay, so I see you're talking about the Smoky Mountains. How do you feel about Cancun? No, we're not going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk exactly about what you do. Now, once I start talking about what you do and I realize you're a travel agent, I might hit you up for Cancun after I book my Smoky Mountains, right? That's what we want, okay? Now, common niche mistakes. This is very, very, I see this all the time. Now, there's not one specific way to niche down, so let me start with that. But if you niche by destination only, you're going to have a problem because you have no audience. There are people everywhere, no matter where you go. So let's just say we talk about the Dominican Republic. That's what I want to talk about. Okay, there's a lot of people that go to the Dominican Republic. Who are you talking to? What do you want to book in the Dominican Republic? How are you going to help them book it? Like why should they book with you? Like there's so many different parts to that. So you can't just niche down by a destination only. Okay. The second worst thing that you could possibly do is copy someone else's niche. That is the worst thing that you can do. And I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. If you were to go and try to imitate exactly what I'm doing, it will fail. It will fail miserably. And I'm going to tell you exactly why, in a sense. One, because I've already built into it. So you going and trying to imitate it, it might work on a scale of, oh, yeah, it works a little bit, but it's not going to have that same capacity because you're not doing it intentionally. If you're copying something that you see somebody else works, it's not intentional because they came up with that idea, right? So what I suggest for that is to maybe just take a small parts of it and then make it into your own. That is the best way to go viral. Okay. And I'm going to explain that to you too. So for example, my mentor, Emily, she started working on a different type of posting for TikTok. And I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's good. That works really well. And then she taught us about it, right? Now I could have went and copied completely what she did and then just took it over there and posted on mine, but it wouldn't have worked because that's her niche. That's her audience. That's her people, right? If I go and take that same thing that she's doing and put it on mine, that's not my people. That's not my niche. And that's definitely not what I talk about. They're going to be like, okay, this is what you want to do? All right, fine, right? But since I already posted about adults only, and I took kind of what she did, and I went over there and I talked about my niche, my people, my topics. It went viral immediately, right? That's what you need to do. That's how you can take that and find it and still go in there, right? We always say copy the right cat, but make sure you're copying them correctly or you're going to fail yourself and you're going to look really embarrassed when you do it. I promise, right? So make sure that you kind of find your niche that actually fits for you. Because if you don't, it's not going to be comfortable for you to sell. You're not going to enjoy it. It's going to feel like work. And when you get a booking, you're not going to know what to do with it because you're actually not comfortable with it. That's it. Okay. Now, one thing I'll tell you too, I see them do a lot lastly, is changing niches every week. Okay. Decide on a niche that you want to use and then test it for about 3 months. If it does not pick up within 3 months, I totally support you changing your niche. I completely do it. But you have to give it at least 3 months, 90 days to see if it works. All right. Now, consistency builds trust, constant switching breaks it. Completely agree with that. And if you are in the process of switching, give yourself at least 2 weeks before you notice any engagement. That's what I'll tell you right there. It takes time to switch over the algorithm. It takes time to switch your audiences. So give yourself a little bit of grace when you decide to switch it. Okay. Now, lastly, I've been talking enough. Niche is a decision. Can we all agree? It is a decision on who you want to talk to. It is a decision on what you want to book. And it's a decision on how you want to help somebody in the travel industry. Niching down is deciding who you're for and being confident to say no to everything else. Now, you're not going to say no to bookings, but you're saying no to talking about random stuff. Like, you guys have to fight the urge to post that random stuff. It's hard. I know. You want to post, 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 post. Your job is not a content creator. Okay. I actually, I do content creation on YouTube. And even then, I have to fight the urge to post random stuff. Okay. When you start posting, I want you to stop and think, does this serve my niche? Does this serve my audience? Will this help in the travel industry? Is it going to help the specific people that I am trying to talk to? If not, don't post it, please. Okay. Listen to me. I'm trying to help you here. All right. Just kidding. All right. So when your niche is clear, your content, leads, and business all get easier. Okay. Now, I do have a guide to help you with this because I realize that it's not as easy as it sounds when it comes to citing a niche. Yeah, we can agree with that. Okay. So we have an engagement deal here. You already should know. And it's comment niche for tonight. And I'm going to give you this awesome guide. Let me switch over to it, shall I? So, how to completely niche down. It's a whole worksheet. So, this way you have a rough idea of what you're trying to go to. So, I want to work with people who are, and if you have another one, that's okay. Describe your ideal client in one sentence. What do they want help with? Perfect. Okay. This is giving you what to talk about. Perfect. Why do they choose you? Okay. And then what do you enjoy booking? There we go. All right. So that is how it works. And then you can build your niche statement down here and then set up your primary and second niches and then niche content check. Yeah, we like this. It has a whole bunch of stuff. Follow up, action plan, everything. All right. So that is what I have for you guys. Let me copy it. I like it because it's basically going to get you set up to what you want to talk about. Yeah, that's what we like. Yes. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me head over to my studio real quick and I will put this in the chat for you. All right. All right. You guys should have it. Yeah. Okay. So that is all I really have for you tonight. Okay. Niche is a decision. So I hope this has helped you guys a lot. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope you understand taking taking Tuesday's training, right? I talked about the basic my top content creation secrets. And I showed you guys how I went viral. Now I went down into the second part of this, which is how to completely niche down. This way, you should be able to take that niche, take what I taught you on Tuesday, and you should be able to implement everything I showed you. That's exactly what I'm trying to get to. Everything that I did this week, you should be able to take that, go to TikTok, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, and implement it based off of your own niche. All right. So I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I will actually be back on Tuesday, but then also if you are with Archer and Evolution, yes. I have a training this Friday, actually, at 5 p.m. PST. So if you are with Evolution, I will be on corporate Zoom on Friday at 5 p.m. PST, where we're doing Market Like a Pro Part 2. But I'm actually going to do something different. On that Friday, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of Chat GPT with my itineraries. Yeah. I'm going to show you how I market them. And then I'm going to show you how I get them out very quickly. So you definitely want to hop on corporate Zoom for that one. All right. So I will see you guys on Friday, and then I'll see you on my YouTube channel next Tuesday. So thank you so much for hopping on. I'm going to head over to my studio now. If you have questions, please visit me there in the chats and I will respond to you. If not, hope you all have a beautiful weekend and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4,